Good evening from St Mary's Stadium. The first time the under-23s have played here for nearly 6 months. Most of the time it's at Staplewood. The Saints were top of the table 2 games ago, but 2 defeats have moved them down to 5th. Wolverhampton Wanderers are the new PL2 Division 2 leaders. They're on great form and have lost just 1 league match all season. It's under-23s football. It's Southampton against Wolves, and it's live on the Saints FC official Facebook page and YouTube channel. Well, I'm Ian Wilding, and here is your team news for this match this evening. Southampton make a couple of changes from their last home match in the Premier League Cup against Leeds United. Sam Gallagher, who spent the last couple of years generally on loan at the likes of Blackburn and Birmingham, comes into the side. So too does Christoph Clara. There's no place in the side for Janovic or Kane Ramsey, who both dropped to the substitutes bench. So Southampton have Jack Rose in goal, the former West Bromwich Albion goalkeeper, going up against Wolves rivals. Wolves this evening, Jan Valery, O'Driscoll, Clara and Vokins at the back. Thomas O'Connor and Slattery, the 2 in the middle, with Gallagher, Smallbone and Marcus Barnes, the attacking midfielders for Southampton, with Michael Obafemi as that lone man up front for Saints. So a strong looking lineup for Southampton then this evening. Substitutes: Kane Ramsey, Adam Parks, Jankovic, Tyreek Johnson and Nathan Teller. So as for Wolves, they make 3 changes. Paulo Alves goes out the side, so too does Dominic Iorfa and goalkeeper Will Norris. So it's the Danish goalkeeper Sundergaard in goal for them. A back 5 of Burr, Kilman, John Giles and Molberg, with Watt and Diallo in the middle, with Goncalves and Ennis playing just off Ashley Seal, Wolves' top goal scorer this season, with 7 goals already for the under-23s since August. So those are your sides. You could say it's a 3-4-3 formation for Wolves, with Burr and Molberg as their wing-backs. And there is the Wolves skipper, Cameron John, as they go to form a huddle. And let's see if Southampton can get back to winning ways then. So 2 league matches, 2 league defeats for Saints. So they got off to a fantastic start to the season. They've generally won, when they have won, by 1-0 or 2 goals to 1. Let's see what this evening can bring. We are live on the Saints FC Facebook page and YouTube channel, and it's Wolves to get us underway here for this free entry for all supporters this evening. So a fair few supporters opposite us as well. Fairly few more fans than usual. We'll be hoping to see Southampton pull off a win tonight. The referee, Mr. Richard Holm, about to blow his whistle to get this match underway. And Saints playing their usual 4-2-3-1 formation, which has served them so well for most of this season. Already a misplaced ball then from Elliot Watt, and Southampton have got a throw. So Southampton again have had a little bit of a wobble recently. Just 1 win in 5 in all competitions. And their defeats against Aston Villa 1-0 and then 2-0 against Reading was a disappointment as well, both in the league, but they've been in a fair few competitions this season. Ashley Seal tries to get there for Wolves, and already an opportunity here with Niall Ennis. Ennis again. And now it's back to Molberg, who gives it away. One of a number of Scandinavian players there for Wolves this evening, Molberg. They've got Sundergaard in goal as well. Oscar Burr, the wing-back. There's Kilman to John. Well under pressure there, and Southampton have another throw. So Jan Valery, who played in a right wing position against Leeds United in the Premier League Cup a couple of weeks ago, which he slotted in well in their 2-1 win, but he's most comfortable in that right wing back position. That's where he goes back to this evening. And Saints come forward once more down that right hand side. They try and get into the box for the first time tonight, but they can't quite, and for a goal kick to Wolverhampton Wanderers, which Sundergaard will take. Jay Gallagher back in the side this evening. Already got on the score sheet once for the under-23s this season. That was in the Premier League International Cup against Dynamo Zagreb, scored the only goal in a 1-0 win. Rudi Jaidi, the Southampton coach, has been speaking to the Southampton FC official website today, saying he wants Saints to get off to a quick start, get out the traps quickly, take the match to Wolves. And here is Goncalves. Oscar Burr wins the throw for Wolverhampton Wanderers. And Oscar Burr will take once on this right-hand side. Had a play from Burr. Vokins to take. The Oxford-born fullback who has made that left-back place his own, with Will Wood moving on in the summer. He went to Accrington Stanley, Will Wood, and has actually made a loan move to Havant and Waterlooville last week as well. But Vokins, again, has played the vast majority of Saints under-23 games this season. Here in the Premier League Division 2, the PL2 this evening. And now Southampton again try and play it forward towards Gallagher. The flag's up. Rob Edwards, the Wolves manager, returned in June as the under-23s boss. Also had a spell as interim boss of Wolves when he replaced Walter Zenga temporarily, who was sacked in 2016. Before eventually Wolves gave the job to Paul Lambert. Here's Sondergaard. Up to Smallbone. Given away. And now Barnes, who actually arrived from Wolves at Southampton back in 2014. Scored a number of goals since then. Generally looking at about 10 goals a season. At least for the under-23 since then. And now Wolverhampton Wanderers on the ball now with Watt. They come forward with Diallo. Diallo again. Elliot Watt. Molberg. Here's Burr. Back to Molberg. Kilman. A cagey start so far. Here's Giles. Good play from Giles. Couldn't quite find the delivery. Clara away for Southampton. Here's Jan Valery. Had a play and Wolves win another throw. So a quiet match so far, start to this game. Nearly 6 minutes in. Valery had a play. Saints have prided themselves so far on their defensive displays this season. They've not conceded too many. They had conceded just 9 goals in 12 in all competitions before that heavy defeat in the week. The Checkatrade Trophy, but now Wolves coming forward. O'Driscoll away. And this time Oscar Burr again to take the throw. Erin O'Driscoll, who's generally played at the back with Thomas O'Connor over the last few weeks, but O'Connor's moved forward to a midfield position tonight with Clara coming in. Jack Rose. He's been at Saints now for more than a year. Joined from West Brom, former Accrington Stanley goalkeeper as well. But so far, yet to see a clear-cut chance tonight. Very early days here, 7 minutes in. And then Rose is going to kick it past the halfway line for Southampton. Let's see what they can do now then. Barnes back. Slattery. O'Driscoll to Vokins. Smallbone. Slattery gives it away. Gallagher, no free kick given. Here is Niall Ennis. Play here, can Obafemi capitalise here for Southampton? It's got options, Vokins is one, two in the box. Back to O'Connor. O'Driscoll. Here he is again. O'Driscoll once more. Good football this from Saints, better, but the ball lets them down. Marcus Barnes behind this left-hand side and behind Vokins and out for a throw to Wolverhampton Wanderers. Well, 7 matches so far then for Southampton in the PL2. They've picked up good wins against Middlesbrough, Stoke and Newcastle. Drew to Manchester United and Fulham. And to start with, it was going pretty well. 3 wins, 2 draws first 5 matches, but 2 defeats has made it more of an inconsistent start. And now Wolverhampton Wanderers coming forward very quickly here. Ball's too far for Ashley Seal, but Burr might get there, he won't. And it goes out for a throw instead to Southampton. Despite Ashley Seal's best efforts, he joined last year Wolves from Norwich a year ago, and he is very much their top goal scorer, Ashley Seal, with 7 goals already this season. He was actually linked with moves to Chelsea and Leicester before making his move to Wolves. And now Diallo for the away side. Forward from Molberg. Ashley Seal does the chasing. Back, good play that time from O'Driscoll. Saints again calm in possession, putting it back to the goalkeeper, but it's not a long kick there that time. And Wolves will look to build up patiently here. Kilman to Molberg. Given away from Watt. Southampton win it back. Here's Vokins. So pretty 50-50 as far as possession's concerned so far as well. No incidents to report so far. Generally, as you can see, being played in this middle third. Goncalves forward now for Wolves. Ennis isn't going to get there, but Wolves could capitalise here. Goncalves with the initial shot. They might get another bite of the cherry. Diallo out left. Max Kilman. Offside. Goncalves is offside, and Southampton can just breathe a sigh of relief for the time being. They win a free kick. So Saints 5th in the table, 5 points behind Wolves with a worst goal difference of 12 already. But that could do with something to do with the fact that Wolves beat Sunderland 7-0 3 weeks ago. And when Wolves have won this season, which has been most of the time, it's been very convincingly. Here is Vokins. O'Driscoll. Back from Clara. Vokins again. As we were saying earlier, tonight's match is free for all supporters. We've got live TV coverage of this game on Facebook and YouTube, the Saints official pages and channels, as we have every single home match of Southampton's PL2 season this season, as well as the Premier League Cup and the International Cup as well. Here it's Diallo. Ashley Seal gets there the second time. Hesitation from Clara. Diallo. Good football from Wolves. Getting their foot in there, Southampton, but it comes to Burr. And first time Jack Rose in the Southampton goal has been called into action. And he dealt with it well there. The Wolves have been keeping possession well over the last few minutes. Southampton now need to try and push back that Wolves defence. Vokins. O'Connor. Here's Gallagher. Diallo. Goncalves. Watt to Burr. One back from O'Connor. Mulberg. Max Kilman, who arrived from Maidenhead in August. The defender can also play left back and right across the middle as well. And Wolves on this right hand side with Burr once more. Mulberg. Diallo. He's made some good striding runs already, Diallo, from that defensive midfield position. And Ashley Seal goes deep. And you have to say, after a fairly 50-50 start, it's Wolves who are starting to dominate possession now. And it's Burr again. Now here's Diallo. Might come back to Burr. Another throw to Wolves. 20-year-old Oscar Burr certainly looks about 14 really, but he's certainly playing with a lot more maturity now. And Mulberg back to Sondergaard. Kilman. Mulberg. With one-touch football there. If Burr can keep it in play. He's had an awful lot of the ball so far. Beats Vokins. Goncalves. Saints are struggling to get the ball off Wolves at the moment. Eventually they do. Vokins back to a Wolves player. Mulberg. Here's Burr. Goncalves. Headed away the first time from O'Driscoll, but once again Southampton just struggling to keep possession at the moment. Mulberg to leave it. Burr to take the throw. Well, the Wolves coach Rob Edwards said he felt Southampton deserved more from those two games which they lost against Aston Villa. Was one. He said the Aston Villa game particularly, he thought Southampton were unlucky to lose. And also against Reading. And you do get the feeling Southampton will be up there come the end of the season, need to finish in the top 5 to get into the playoffs. They just missed out on goal difference to get into a playoff place last season, Southampton. And if things carry on as they are between now and the end of the season, Saints will be in the playoff place. Lots of football to come between now and then, but finally maybe Southampton, let's see what they can do now with a bit of possession. It's been frustrating for these Saints players so far. The Wolves having a big spell of possession, but now it's Southampton's turn. Here's O'Connor. Here's Christophe Clara, who played against Wolves in the FA Youth Cup last season for the under-18s. A match which Southampton won by 4-1, with Obafemi getting a hat-trick. Harry Hamblin also scoring for Southampton. That was a game which saw Saints outplay Wolves. Here at St Mary's Stadium it was as well. In the meantime, Rose has it back now for Southampton. $18 gone already. Still looking for that first shot in anger for either side. There's that shot from Diallo which came straight off Clara earlier on in the match. It was never going to cause any real problems. But that's all there's been so far. Here's Vokins. Calves does some chasing. O'Driscoll back to Rose. Obafemi. Arrived from Leyton Orient, the Irishman, a couple of years ago. It's offside, the flag's up, and Wolves have another free kick. Wolves play very much identically to the first team in that formation, the way they play the football, the way they're set up. And Southampton like to try and do the same. Although Saints the first team, the formation has varied more recently, whereas the Southampton team has generally, over the last few years, stuck to that 4-2-3-1 formation. Here is O'Driscoll. Here's Barnes. Vokins. Here's Watt, who played in the League Cup for Wolves earlier on in the season against Sheffield Wednesday. Niall Ennis. Now here is Max Kilman. And Saints will hope that it's not another period of Wolves' dominant possession, which they certainly enjoyed for a good 5-minute period. Saints will have to try and close them down quicker. Ashley Seal gives it away. Here's Obafemi. Now then, what can Southampton do? Oh, a through ball from Barnes. And he's quick, Obafemi. He's not that quick. Just a bit of a miscommunication. You can see what he's trying to do. And Diallo goes very deep for Wolves. Here is Kilman. That's Kilman, who has actually played football, 25 caps for England, in fact, for them. He actually nearly quit the game when he was on loan at Marlow a couple of years ago, but he's come into his own since then. Whereas here is O'Connor, the Saints captain. He was speaking on the Saints official website today. Said it's been a long time since Saints have played at St Mary's. It's always a big plus to play here. Says it's what we live for, but at the moment, deadlock yet to be broken, approaching halfway through the first half. And very few chances for either side. Diallo, that had the potential to be a glorious ball, but it was just too far. And Valerie to take the throw for Southampton. Despite Giles' best efforts. Big game for the Saints senior side as well tomorrow. Bournemouth at the Vitality Stadium. Huge afternoon for them. As for the under-23s, plenty to ponder for Ruddy Shahidi. Free kick to Wolves. First free kick in a relatively dangerous position for either side, and it's come to the away team. It could be Elliot Watt who fancies this. And I think it will be. He's yet to get on the score sheet in the league for the under-23s this season, but it's quite some distance. Ennis and John, Ashley Seal all in there for Wolves. Southampton have every man back. Obafemi coming back now to join in to try and get this away for Saints. And it is going to be Elliot Watts, and it's going to sail harmlessly over the crossbar. And you have to say, chances-wise, that's been the highlight of the half so far. I'm sure it can only get better. Goal kick. Ruddy Shahidi also said he wants the Southampton players to put pressure on themselves tonight to get themselves back to winning ways. Keep the pressure on the top three. A win tonight for Southampton would move them to within 2 points off Wolves at the top of the table. And now Obafemi could be in here. Oh, and it's a good save. Well saved from Sondergaard. First time Southampton have got in behind that Wolves defence, it nearly paid off. And Southampton close there with their top goal scorer Obafemi with 4 this season. He nearly got his 5th there, but now Southampton come again. Sondergaard. Saints win another throw, which Vokins will take. O'Driscoll to Clara, back to O'Driscoll. Here's Barnes. Vokins. Better from Southampton. Barnes has got Obafemi in the box. Smallbone in there as well. Not going to find Slattery. Just enough on it, back to Rose. From O'Driscoll, here's Clara to O'Connor. Certainly a leader, Thomas O'Connor in the middle. He says he's probably the loudest on the pitch. And now Southampton put it back now with Smallbone. Better period this is though for Southampton. More encouraging for the home team last couple of minutes. They can find Vokins. They can't. It's Burr, picks it up for Wolves instead. Watt to Goncalves, who signed a 2-year deal last year from Valencia. Pedro Goncalves. Big things expected from him. Niall Ennis. And now Wolves coming forward. Ashley Seals in the middle. A free kick given there, Jan Valerie. And now Wolves have a free kick in a very dangerous position. Well, as Ennis with the ball, it was Ryan Giles who tried to put the cross in. And Jan Valery, the former Stade Rennais fullback, is the man who fouls his man, and now Wolves have a free kick with the big centre-backs coming forward. So we have a bit of stoppage here in the meantime. Well, watching that again. So that was, you have to say, the only real attempt on goal so far for Wolves. That went over the crossbar, but then Southampton went down the other end. And this, you have to say, when Obafemi coming forward, is the best chance of the match so far. Turned his man really well. He left Malberg standing there. Barnes with a header initially. And then Obafemi scored, seen him score goals on that in the past. Saved a good save from Sondergaard. But now Saints have some defending to do. Oh, it was a close run thing. And the shot comes in there from Diallo. Picked up from Rose. First real attempt on target from Wolves. That might get Southampton going again. Here's O'Connor. Vokins. Clara. Here's Vokins again. Throw to Wolverhampton Wanderers. Well, Saints suffered a disappointing defeat in the Checkatrade Trophy, losing 4-0 to Cambridge 10 days ago as Aziz hat-trick for them. But Southampton players have been saying they've got that result out of their system now, looking to go into this game with confidence. Half an hour gone, nothing to separate the two scoreline-wise. Southampton drawn in the Checkatrade Trophy as well as Cambridge. They're also drawn with Carlisle and Colchester. Diallo to take the free kick then for Wolves. But he tried to. It's about 15 yards further back than he thought. Malberg. Good running here. And it's a misplaced shot in the end. And it was a good run from the middle of the park there from Cameron John. In the end, his left-footed shot let him down. He was eyed by a number of Premier League clubs, Cameron John, before he joined Wolves when they were then in the Championship. He was at Southend until 2015. Brighton and Norwich, by all accounts, were keeping tabs on him in the summer. Jack Rose to take. Obafemi has put himself about, and he did really well, Obafemi, in the last match in the Premier League Cup at home to Leeds United. Still looking to get back in the senior side after making his debut against Spurs at the age of 17 last season, but now Wolves coming forward with Ennis. Giles back to Watt. Here's Elliot Watt again. Niall Ennis, who's recovered now from a couple of really bad injuries. Good football this from Wolves. Can they find the end product? No, they can't. Can Saints win the ball back? No, they can't, not on that occasion. Malberg again for Wolves. Back to Kilman. Watt out towards the left-hand side. Here's John. Made a bursting run a second ago. Was forced further back that time. Here's Kilman. Malberg. Diallo. Good tackle from Smallbone. Good from Southampton. Bit of patient build-up needed now from the home team. Here's Vokins. Clara. Here he is again. Valerie's ball. Back to Rose. Wolves have lost only one PL2 match this season. That was 1-0 away at Fulham. Back to Rose again. Well, these two sides have met each other a number of times over the years, the youngsters. In fact, as far as the FA Youth Cup was concerned, they met each other in 2005 in the semi-finals. Likes of Lallana, Walcott, Bale, all involved for Southampton back then in the squad. Most notable Wolves player back then was Wayne Hennessy, now of Crystal Palace. There's a referee, Richard Holm, giving Southampton a free kick. And here is Vokins for Southampton. O'Driscoll back to Rose. Still Saints' best and only chance came from Obafemi when he turned his man. It was saved in the end. Well done from Sondergaard, but now Southampton will try and test him once more. O'Connor to Vokins. Caused a few problems. Kilman away. Burr. Goncalves. Watt down the left-hand side. Wolves trying to break quickly. Doesn't pay off that time. And Southampton win another throw. Saints have got a fair few players who've made the progression over the last 12 months from the under-18s. Clara's one of them. But it's generally been a consistent side every week for Saints. Only probably one or two changes every week, which has on the whole resulted in positive score lines for Southampton. And now Barnes for Saints. Vokins behind him. Saints have got some good options on the bench as well in the second half. Tyreek Johnson and Nathan Teller from an attacking point of view. I'm sure we'll see one, if not both of those in the second half at some point. And now Saints enjoying a bit of possession. Clara plays it back. O'Driscoll. Well, the match between these two sides at Southampton was at the training ground last season at Staplewood. Wolves winning 4-2, despite goals from Barnes and Johnson for Southampton. Donovan Wilson with a hat-trick for Wolves and Courtney Horse as well. But here, nothing to separate the two. And what's been a cagey first 37 minutes to this game. I'm sure, as often the case, it will open up in the second half. Ashley Seal wins a free kick for Wolves. Clara tugging at his shirt. And now it's going to be Watt to take for the West Midlands side. Kilman comes forward. Saints again, every man back. Barnes is the furthest forward. Kilman waits for it. So too does Ashley Seal. Watt into the box. Oh, it could have gone anywhere. Still an opportunity. It's blocked. It comes back to Watt once more. Appeals for handball off a Wolves player. Nothing given. Here's Diallo. Watt again. Back from Kilman. Here's John. Max Kilman. Wolves hoping to extend their unbeaten run now to 4 games in the league. Southampton looking for their 4th league win of the season. Great play that from Callum Slattery. Getting stuck in there for Saints, Callum Slattery. Again playing in that deeper role this evening. Played a fair bit of last season at attacking midfield role. And Obafemi could be in here. Can he finish? He can! Michael Obafemi, when given a chance from there, he's likely to finish. And that's exactly what he's done. In behind the defence for the 2nd time tonight. And this time, he makes no mistake. Under Sondergaard. And with 5 to play, Southampton lead Wolves by a 1-0. Well, it was Kilman responsible there for kicking it off Obafemi's knee. And they've not really put long balls over the top enough tonight, Southampton. Generally been played short inside their own half, but when they did, it paid off. It caused confusion among the Wolves' defence. Kilman will feel he should have done better. But Michael Obafemi gets his 5th of the season. And the Irishman is getting better and better. In the meantime, Wolves looking for an instant reply. Rose stops it from going out for a corner kick. Well, both sides like to play from the back. But that ball over the top that time paid off. Just like it did earlier when Obafemi just playing it short inside Wolves' half. Through ball to Obafemi. And he put it over Kilman's head earlier on. Had a shot which was well safe from Sondergaard, but he made no mistake the 2nd time. And Southampton have got to see it through now to half-time. Better from Saints then. Live under-23s football tonight. It's Southampton against Wolves. Friday night football on the Saints FC YouTube channel and Facebook page. Obafemi with the goal a couple of minutes ago. Separating these two sides. Chances-wise, there hasn't been a lot in it. Wolves had a real good spell earlier of possession, where Saints just couldn't get the ball off them for 10-15 minutes or so, but Saints have got themselves back into the game since then. And now Sondergaard kicks it long for Wolves. That should open the game up as well. It was cagey up to that point. Wolves have to come at Southampton now in the 2nd half. They might come at them more before the break. Burr with the throw. Diallo. Goncalves. Kilman. Play forward from Watt. Good play from Walls. Does that go out of play? Yeah, Southampton have got a goal kick. Linking up well there, Ennis down the left and Giles. But not enough to keep the ball in play, out for a goal kick. So Saints play about 4 games at St Mary's Stadium, the under-23s in the league, and that's the first of them tonight. And Radi Shahidi will be a lot happier with what he's seen from his side last 20 minutes than what he saw from the first 20. They either play Saints here or at Staplewood, whereas Wolves have 3 different locations, as well as their Sir Jack Hayward training ground. They also play at AFC Telford and at Molineux. Bit like Southampton, really. They play at Molineux every now and again. Wolves taking on Watford this weekend, the senior side. Southampton playing Bournemouth. Some big games in the Premier League this weekend. But here, in the under-23s, it's advantage Southampton, and they'll look to make it better here. O'Connor. Barnes. Wins a corner against his former club. And things could get better for Southampton here. Good run from O'Connor, intelligent ball. Still had it all to do here, Marcus Barnes. O'Driscoll and Clare are the men forward. And the best thing he could do really in that situation, with his man so close to him, was win a corner. And it's going to be Will Smallbone once more to take the corner kick for Southampton. A minute to go before half-time. Bit too weighty in the end. Sam Gallagher does well to keep the ball in play. Scored over 10 goals when on loan at Blackburn Rovers, Sam Gallagher. Successful spell. But right now, Southampton under-23s have got a number of players out on loan themselves. Alfie Jones, who is a near ever present for the under-23s, he's gone to St Mirren. Jake Hesketh's also on loan elsewhere as well. But as we approach injury time, we'll find out in a second for the 4th official how many minutes we're going to have. I wouldn't have thought any more than 2. Had a bit of stoppage earlier. Two minutes it is. Vokins. There's Goncalves on the floor. Well, it looked like a fair tackle. Final few stages of the half. Here was a goal. Obafemi using all his strength to get in behind the defence. Made no mistake from there. And Obafemi's just added that finishing touches to his game now as well. Obafemi's always had pace. He's just that little bit stronger, and he's just that little bit more clinical in front of goal. He gets himself into one-on-one positions so many times, Michael Obafemi. He's done it twice tonight. He scored one. And now Barnes will try and win that header for Southampton. He does. Too far for Obafemi. Kilman is going to leave it for Sundergaard. Here is John. Gallagher wins the free kick. Push from Ennis. Niall Ennis, just like Gallagher, was also on loan last season, but it didn't last very long, unfortunately, for him. He was at Shrewsbury till September and then picked up a season-ending injury while on loan there. Last few seconds of the half. Given away that time from O'Driscoll, and there is another free kick. This time on O'Driscoll. Seems to be in no rush to get this forward. They're just to keep this ball at the moment. I'd imagine Ruddy Jahidi will be saying more of what we've seen of the last 20 minutes of the first half. I still haven't seen a great deal of opportunities here. And he goes into the book. Goncalves. O'Driscoll to take. That's it for half-time. So far, so good for Southampton on what was a quiet, cagey affair until that man, Michael Obafemi, had other ideas. Great finish from him. Wolves had a really good spell of possession, but didn't really create a great deal in that time. They had a free kick which went over the crossbar and a shot from just outside the 6-yard box, which was straight at Jack Rose. But Michael Obafemi, who had a chance earlier on in the match, has had both of Southampton's good opportunities, but this was the best of them, and he made no mistake either from 8 yards. Right under Andreas Sondergaard, who, again, despite trying to make himself look big in the Wolverhampton Wanderers goal, the Danish goalkeeper in the end had no chance. Max Kilman will be disappointed with the way he didn't really deal with that as well as he would have liked at the back, despite having a pretty solid game up to that point. So we'll see what the second half brings, but so far so good for Southampton here in the PL2. They lead the leaders Wolves, have only lost once so far this season. We'll be back in the second half as well. It will be live on the official Southampton FC Facebook page and YouTube channel. But at half-time here at St Mary's Stadium, it's under-23s football, and it's Southampton 1, Wolves 0. Welcome back to St Mary's Stadium, where Saints have a 1-0 lead over Wolverhampton Wanderers. It was a cagey, quiet first half, not a lot of incidents, but Michael Obafemi brought it to life 5 minutes before half-time, slossing it underneath the goalkeeper Sondergaard to give Saints that 1-0 lead. Well, it's about to get this second half underway. It's live TV coverage of this under-23s match. I'm Ian Wilding for coverage online via the Saints FC Facebook page and YouTube channel. And you'd hope that that goal for Southampton will just open things up, open the game up in the second half. Wolves will certainly have to come at Southampton now if they want to get an equaliser or even bring this game back and maintain their place at the top of the table. If Saints can win tonight, they will close the gap to the top of the table to just 2 points. So Wolves headed on, unchanged in the second half. O'Connor tries to put Smallbone away, Kilman away for Wolves. And then O'Driscoll heads on for Southampton. Here is Goncalves straight away for Wolverhampton Wanderers. Infield it goes. And now Ashley Seal. Southampton need to make sure they don't give him an opportunity in the second half. The fact he's got 7 goals already this season. So Saints playing a 4-2-3-1. Rose in goal. Valerie, O'Driscoll, Clara and Vokins at the back, with O'Connor and Slattery in the middle. Gallagher, Smallbone and Barnes, the attacking midfielders behind Michael Obafemi. Substitutes for Saints, Kane Ramsey and Jankovic, both newly arrived, both came in against Leeds a couple of weeks ago, but they're both on the bench this evening, with Adam Parks, Tyreek Johnson and Nathan Teller. So a good mix of defensive and attacking options for Saints if needs be in the second half. Wolves playing that 3-4-3 formation with Sondergaard in goal, as Giles, a fantastic run for him, looking to get Wolves away straight away in the second half. Not going to do it that time. A back three of Kilman and John and Molberg. Giles and Burr, the wing backs, with Diallo and Watt, the two in the middle, and Goncalves and Ennis playing just off Ashley Seal. Same formation for them as their senior side. Kazoka, Harry Beasley, Paulo Alves, who arrived from Liverpool, the midfielder. Heredia, who's got 1 goal this season, and Austin Samuels make up the Wolverhampton Wanderers substitutes bench. And here is Ennis. Good run from Goncalves. Giles put in a couple of decent balls in the first half. Doesn't keep it in play that time. And Southampton have a goal kick. Well, Wolves did the double over Southampton last season. It was in August 2017 when Southampton suffered their first defeat of the season, with Wolves winning 3-0 at Telford. Goals from Armstrong, Wilson and Seedorf. But Southampton advantage Saints at the moment, thanks to that goal from Michael Obafemi on 40 minutes. And Southampton are about to make an early substitution here in the second half, with Sam Gallagher going off. So he's come off, and Nathan Teller, who, when he came on against Leeds in a Premier League couple of weeks ago, caused some real problems. The man who arrived from Arsenal a couple of years ago. And he's a great impact player, but I don't think he was expecting to be on quite this early in the second half. So Teller on, Gallagher off, the first substitution of the evening. Yeah, it was 2-1 to Southampton at home to Leeds in the Premier League Cup. It was Obafemi and Callum Slattery with the goals, despite Leeds equalising. Group match number 1 of 6. This is the 5th competition Southampton are involved in already this season. 1 of 5. And Wolves have the ball with Watt, Ennis, Giles. Clara's foot comes off. Corner. And the Austrian defender Christoph Clara, who signed from Rapid Wien, has put in a good shift tonight, looked very solid. And there is Ryan Giles, who actually trained and played with the first team in Switzerland in the summer. 1 goal to his name this season. Corner, they've not had too many of those this evening, and this time it comes off Kilman and out for another goal kick. We have to say, on the whole, Southampton this year, they've done well. After a wobble at Christmas last year, 2018, they've won 13 matches this year, only lost 5, and they'll look to make it 14 tonight. They're going the right way about it, despite the cagey first half. Obafemi's goal separating the two teams. Andreas Sondergaard, who signed a 2.5-year deal with Wolves. Max Kilman. Cameron John. Ennis, it's a risky ball back to John, but John did well in the end. The Wolves skipper. Max Kilman. What goes deep? Trying to do a Neves, really. That's what he would do in a Wolves shirt. Go deep and try and play a ball like that, but didn't quite pay off that time for Watts. But goes out for a throw to Southampton instead. Saying about all these competitions Southampton have been in. Also involved in the Checkatrade Trophy, the Premier International Cup, the Premier League Cup. They also played Christchurch in the Hampshire Senior Cup and won that match. They're through to the last 16 of that competition. Obafemi. Corner kick to Southampton. Wolves had a corner a couple of minutes ago. Now it's Southampton's turn. Off the foot of Max Kilman. Barnes to Obafemi. Looking to get in again behind the Wolves' defence. This time a corner. Not had many of these so far tonight, Southampton. Clara, O'Driscoll, Slattery all in there for Saints. Aimed up towards the near post. It's headed clear. Teller just ran into each other in the end. Off the foot of Teller, and Wolves have a throw. Nathan Teller arrived at Saints after trialling at first for the under-18s and impressing. But Wolves have failed to score only once this season. That was when they lost to Fulham. Kept 3 clean sheets in the process, but at the moment, Saints defending well. It's not been a classic, this one so far. We had 2 corners though in the second half, 1 for either side, both dealt with well. Here's Valerie. Good ball, if Obafemi can nearly get in there. Right idea, better from Saints. Into the arms of Sondergaard instead. Saints don't play now for 9 days. They're playing on a Sunday when they travel to Sunderland. Sunderland, who lost 7-0 to Wolves a couple of weeks ago. Foul on Goncalves, free kick to Wolverhampton Wanderers. But this was the chance for Obafemi, who's already scored tonight. Nearly was in there. Touch too heavy. Ball a bit too far away from him in the end. Margins, really. And now, Barnes. He's going to run at the Wolves' defence. And he's going to win another corner. Diallo originally tried to get it off him. And then Alex Molberg got there on the second occasion. Second corner of the second half for Southampton. And the goal just calmed things down now for Saints. See if they can get a quality delivery. It's not a bad one. It causes some problems. It falls to Slattery. It's going to come back to Teller. And it's a wasted shot in the end. And Smallbone over the crossbar. Sundergaard punched it away originally. Well, a bit of encouragement for Saints as we head into the last 35 minutes of this match. 66% of Saints goals this season have come in the last half an hour. The period where Wolves have scored the most goals is 15 minutes before half-time, but that period is now over. But Wolves do have the likes of Goncalves, Ashley Seal, Ennis, a very dangerous attacking front three. But Clara and O'Driscoll at the back for Southampton, dealing with things well so far. Here's O'Connor. Good play from him. He's put in some good balls so far tonight. Curled in. Valerie. Here is Slattery. Another through ball. Obafemi. Tees his man up nicely. Teller. Burr away for Wolves. Not the ball he wanted. Diallo. Ashley Seal. Wolves on the quick breakaway. Ashley Seal. Diallo. And Diallo gives it away in the end. Ball from Slattery, and it's going to go out for a throw instead. Well, that was another one. Obafemi's having some good service here in the second half. Had one earlier on, and he's had another one there. Tried to tee up Teller, but in the end there were so many Wolves players in the box. Coming back in numbers there. 6 in the box for Wolves there. And now it's a foul on Ashley Barnes. Referee just trying to calm things down. Well, it's been slightly better in the second half. They've been opened up slightly. Half opportunities for both sides. Cameron John there, the captain, just being spoken to as well, just to try and control his teammate. It's not really been one of those games so far. There have been a couple of yellow cards already. But Goncalves there with a foul. He knew straight away. Wolves have started the season off very well. They ended badly last season. They lost 4 of their last 6 matches, but they've come back really well. Oh, nearly found Teller. Vokins lets it out of play. When Vokins runs at the defence in the way they did there, it really can cause some problems. John just got the touch there before Teller could. Here's Clara to Valerie. Well, both sides have had players away on international duty. As for Wolves, yesterday, their manager, Rob Edwards, said it was the first time the whole group had got together for quite some time again. They trail 1-0 here tonight. It's Giles to take. Kilman. Molberg. Vokins gives it away. Challenge from Watt. It was a late one. Eddie Watt there with the foul. O'Driscoll gives it away. You'll hope he's not punished there. He won't be that time. Burr puts his man under pressure. Oscar Burr, who made his league debut against Hull back in April, Oscar Burr, and scored as well in a 2-2 draw. Here's Kilman. Good ball out from John. Went under Diallo. Here's Nathan Teller for Southampton. Obafemi in front of him. Obafemi's there in support. There's four now, a line of them. Here's Valerie. Slattery. Gone past the hour mark. O'Driscoll to Vokins, who's had a bit more licence to roam down the left-hand side in the second half. Live under 23 football tonight, Southampton against Wolves. And now Obafemi, who's got in behind the defence again. He's got Teller in the middle, plays it to Barnes, and it goes just wide of the post. He'd have loved to have scored against his former club. And Obafemi, he's a man who's looked like the man who's going to cause the most damage tonight. Scored earlier, and who's looking to provide an assist there. Kilman, John, and Molberg all back for Wolves. Ball over the top again. Obafemi. He's got Smallbone in the middle. Here's Valerie. Into the box. And this finished really well. And he has got a goal against his former club. It's Marcus Barnes. And once again, credit must go to Obafemi. And a terrific ball in from Valerie. It was laid on a plate for Marcus Barnes. And all of a sudden, things seem a lot more comfortable now for Saints. Southampton 2, Wolves 0. And Obafemi again, who's just come into his own again in the second half. He didn't have to put the ball in the air, didn't have to hit it hard. It was just placed nicely for Marcus Barnes there from Jan Valerie. And Ruddy Shahidi can just breathe a little easier now. He's been saying all season how this team are more than capable of breaking into the top 5 this season. They've got the ability to do it. Well, a win for Saints tonight could well move them up a couple of places to 3rd. Wolves haven't looked like the side in the second half that have produced some really decent performances before tonight. Still plenty of time. Ashley Seal back now. Ennis. Vokins away. As well as a Sunderland win, Wolves also beat Middlesbrough 2-0. Here's Goncalves. Goncalves. Good save from Rose. He's not really been tested tonight, Jack Rose. The first time he's really had to dive to make a save. Goncalves got past O'Connor. O'Driscoll tried to block the shot. Pedro Goncalves, who scored 2 goals this season. Kilman. Barnes in the air. Teller, my goodness me. Not quite what he was planning to do. Goal in each half has given Southampton a 2-0 lead here. I'd say it looked like that was heading out for a corner first. Certainly wasn't in line with the penalty area. It's Oscar Burr to take. Goncalves again. Who had that shot, and that would have made things nervy again for Southampton had that found the top corner. So as well as those 2 league wins, they also beat Hull 2-1 in the PL Cup, Wolves, but those 3 wins against Middlesbrough, Sunderland and Hull, they couldn't build on against Mansfield, where they lost by 2-1 in the Checkatrade Trophy, despite a Goncalves free kick on 75 minutes. They went 2-0 down in that game, and they trailed 2-0 here. Here's Kilman. Good tackle from O'Driscoll. Well played from him. Wins against Middlesbrough, Stoke and Newcastle for Southampton. They're looking to add Wolves to that list, but Wolves could have other ideas with Giles. This match over on that far side. And then off the foot of Burr and out for another throw. Here's the second goal. Lovely ball from Valerie. Marcus Barnes was never going to miss from there. That's his 4th of the season. So Southampton's 2 top goal scorers, both on the score sheet tonight. We saw Nathan Teller come into action. I'd imagine the other winger, Tyreek Johnson, may just have to wait a little before coming on this evening, if he does come on at all. Jankovic and Kane Ramsey are other options for Southampton tonight on the substitutes bench. Diallo, who progressed through the Manchester City Academy before joining Wolves, just limping there, Diallo. He was born in Guinea but grew up in Rotherham. And here's Goncalves, had that shot earlier on. Trying to find Oscar Burr, and it's Vokins who wins it back. Straight back to Goncalves. Here live online tonight, every home Southampton match in the PL2, Premier League Cup and Premier International League. Here in the PL2 on Facebook and YouTube. Southampton 2-0 up here. And John back to Kilman. To Watt. Diallo. Watt. Good play from Ennis. Unselfish, he finds Goncalves. Good movement from Wolves. Couldn't find the finishing touches. Here's Oscar Burr. Watt. Watt again. And finds the back of the net. And we could well be in for a grandstand last 20 minutes or so. Elliot Watt. He had it all to do from here. It came off clearer the first time. And he's got his first PL2 goal of the season. And it's a terrific finish as well. (2-1) then, so 1-0 at half time. It was a really slow tempoed first half, and the majority of it. Not a lot of chances at all, but the second half has sprung to life, particularly the last 15 minutes. Saints looked like they were in cruise control a while ago. Not quite so much anymore. Here's Watt, the goal scorer. Ball in again. Ennis could score here. He does. Well, what a 60 seconds that is for Wolves. And what a disappointing minute for Southampton. Niall Ennis has brought this match right back here. And all of a sudden, it's 2-2. What a strike from Niall Ennis. It's his third of the season. Jan Valery couldn't pick him up. Bullet strike from Ennis. And Southampton are shell-shocked. Well, how this match has turned around. Rob Edwards there, the Wolves manager, despite the belief in his players, I don't think he can quite believe what he's just seen. Was a Wolves player as well for 4 years, over 100 appearances for them. But he's watching his under-23 side come back, and how disappointing now for Southampton, who were looking good at 2-0, looking pretty comfortable. Wasn't really being tested too much at 2-0. But what a contrast in halves. What an entertaining second half for the neutral, but from a Southampton perspective, with 19 to play, it's now Wolves coming forward. Ennis. Kilman. Clara to O'Driscoll. Well, Saints hoping to put the pressure on the top three tonight. It was looking so good 5 minutes ago, or less than that, at 2-0. Still plenty of time for things to change. For either side, it is evenly poised. You wouldn't like to predict which way this game's going to go. Certainly it'll be Wolves aside now with a spring in their step. It will be going on now to try and make it 3 successive PL2 wins. Saints will try and put a stop to that and try and not to lose 3 in a row in the league. And it's Jan Valery to take. Obafemi and Barnes giving Southampton a 2-0 lead. Elliot Watt. And then Niall Ennis. In the space of 60 seconds, bringing it back for Wolves to make it 2-2. Jan Valery. Good tackle from Slattery. It's a brave ball. Did well. Back to O'Driscoll, to O'Connor. Tries to put Barnes away. Throw to Wolves. That's all change. Wolves have won 5, drawn 1 and lost 1 of their 7 PL2 matches. They're 1 point ahead of Manchester United and Aston Villa. And second and third. Watt gives it away. They've got Manchester United at home to come next match, Wolves. Whereas Southampton away at Sunderland in 9 days, but their next home match, which will be live on the Saints FC Facebook page and YouTube channel, will be at home to Wolves rivals West Bromwich Albion. That's in February time, middle of February. That'll be here as well as St Mary's Stadium. Good play from Ennis, scorer of Wolves' second goal. The move breaks down out for a goal kick. Well, The Wolves manager, Nuno Espirito Santo, has certainly said how much he rates that man who just scored there, Elliot Watt. Good finish from him. He thinks pretty highly of that man as well. Niall Ennis into the top corner, and Wolverhampton Wanderers have brought this game right back. It's a match that's come to life. What's going to happen, I wonder, last 15 minutes? We'll have it all here live online. Here is Christophe Clara for Southampton to Jan Valery. Now age 21, Jan Valery. Been part of the under-23 setup now for 3 years. Kilman. Goncalves. Diallo. Saints started the season with a win against Middlesbrough back in August. Certainly a warmer evening than it is here. Saints have generally started the season off pretty well over the last few years. Rob Edwards there, the Wolves head coach, a 35-year-old. He became the youth team coach, with Scott Sellers becoming head of academy in the summer. Guided Telford to 14th in the Conference North last season. Sean Parrish's assistant. But now Saints have got some defending to do here. Hadi Jahidi on the edge of the Southampton technical area, shouting out his instructions to the Saints youngsters. Goncalves gives it away. Two coaches, in fact, who've both played a number of appearances for their clubs. Hadi Jahidi spent 3 years as a player at Southampton, as well as playing for Birmingham and Bolton. Had to retire through injury, though, in 2012. Carried on in the development role under Martin Hunter originally. Smallbone. Obafemi. Still has it all to do. Smallbone. Corner. Well, 3 players around him. But Saints, who haven't created anything last 10 minutes or so, all of a sudden had that opportunity there to retake the lead. Off the foot of Molberg. Saints with the 4th corner of the second half. Will Smallbone to take. Comes back to Slattery. Worth a go. Not to be. So Wolves are going to make their first substitution very soon. But again, it caused problems. Good header away originally from Max Kilman. And the way he was facing, really, it was always going to be difficult there for him. And Callum Slattery puts it over the crossbar. Wolves have generally kept it as it is. They've been pretty happy, obviously. Even at 2-0 down, they didn't push the panic button, kept the team the way it was. And it's paid off for them since. Saints went 2-0 up, now it's 2-2. Saints were 1-0 up at half-time. Valery with a throw. We're saying about Saints 1 win in 5. Among that, though, was a decent draw against Porto in the International Cup. They're looking to make it 2 wins in 6 tonight. They were heading that way at 2-0 up, with 10 to play. Anything could happen at 2-2. O'Connor. Christoph Klärer, the Austrian. To Valery, the Frenchman. Smallbone back to Klärer. Here's Nathan Teller. One back from Diallo. Watt in field. John forward. Here's Slattery. O'Connor. Foul on O'Connor. Well, it was late from Watts, who's made a couple of late challenges. This time goes into the book. And Saints now have an opportunity. If Smallbone could have put a decent ball into the penalty area. Looks to get Wolves in. Confusion in the defence. Oh, and it was so close. It was Slattery at the back post. The short free kick. And it so nearly paid off, that training ground move. Slattery so close for putting Saints back in front there. And he can't quite believe his luck. And Calvert's coming off then for Wolves. Goal kick. And Galvez, he was putting himself about as well. He was looking pretty decent, but he did pick up a yellow card earlier on. So I think the decision was made in the end to make the substitution. I think to probably stop him from doing anything silly at this stage of the game. And Regia on for Wolves. He's already got one goal to his name so far, Collis Heredia, who's come on for him. There is Klärer to Slattery. Reaction as well to come from Saints boss of the under-23s, Ruddy Jahidi. That will go on our official SouthamptonFC.com page. Also follow us on Twitter and Facebook for all the reaction. Here is Teller. And 20 minutes ago he'd have been delighted at 2-0 up. Foul there on John from Nathan Teller. Andreas Sundergaard. Over Ryan Giles' head. Valery to take the throw. A shout of keep going there from the referee. Now here is O'Connor. Vokin's making a brilliant run down the left-hand side. Well, should have played into him, really. Kilman. All of a sudden, talking of good runs, Ennis has made a good one. This time he does pick the ball up. Into Klärer. Klärer claims it came off Ennis, but Wolves have a throw. Giles to take, and it was a great run. Certainly pacey. Well, both are, really, Valery and Ennis, but Ennis beating Valery for pace on that occasion. Niall Ennis is captain England at under 19 level. Here's Diallo. Heredia back towards Molberg for Wolves. Is there a late twist in the tail in this one? Kilman. Watts to the right-hand side. Ashley Seal plays it back. Here's Kilman. Cam John. Good tackle from him. Sadou Diallo. Ashley Seal holds the ball up well, finds space. Saints have some defending to do here. Here's Burr. Heredia. Diallo. Heredia, the substitute. Burr wins a corner. On the away side, they're going for this here. They're getting a number of men forward. Slatu with the original challenge. Wolves were 2-0 down. They scored 2 goals in 60 seconds. And now they've got a corner to bring this game right the way back. Fortunately for Saints, that doesn't happen. A good header away. Watt. John. Molberg. Max Kilman. Played as a left back at Maidenhead in a 4-4-2 formation. Certainly new for him. Centre back in a 3-4-3. Also gets forward well as well, though. Here's Kilman again. Diallo, who's gone deep a few times tonight. He's done that well. Ashley Seal. Again, though, it's time for Wolves now to enjoy a bit more possession. If Saints can just get it in Wolves' final third, they can cause problems with the likes of Teller, Obafemi and Barnes. Just got to get the ball off them, though, at the moment. Here's John to Kilman, to Watt, to Burr, and the flag's up. And Southampton win a free kick. Penny for the thoughts of the coaching staff. Khadija Eidi. Saying how good, also about how it's nice to play at St Mary's Stadium. Said it's a chance to replicate that first team environment tonight. It would be nice if they could send those home fans back with a win. It was looking that way at 2-0. It's 2-2 at the moment. And Wolves, having brought it back, will be by far the happiest to return back to Wolverhampton with a point if things stay as they are. They'll hope that Manchester United and Aston Villa slip up. If they do, they'll maintain their place at the top of the table. If things stay as they are, that is. Vokins, throw for Southampton. Obafemi, scorer of Southampton's first goal tonight. Valerie. Here's Nathan Teller. Well, the ball's about to go up. Throw to Wolves. And it's going to be 3 minutes. 3 minutes of added time, indicated from the fourth official. We're into it now. But what can Southampton do here? Is there late drama to come? Injury time, and Vokins with a free kick. Can they get a last gasp winner here, Southampton? Vokins punched away from Sondergaard. They're going to get another chance here though, Southampton. In again, and it's off Clara the first time. Heads it off a Wolves player. Off John, by the looks of things. And Saints have got a corner. Vokins once more, this time with a corner kick. Niall Ennis is coming off for Wolves. And Dan Suzoka is coming on for him. And you can tell that Wolves are content with a point now, just trying to tick the clock down, especially in the situation now with Southampton having a corner. Referee trying to hurry Niall Ennis up here. By the time he gets there, he was pretty much out of play anyway. On off the pitch. Dan Suzoka comes on then. Big, tall, physical player to try and head this away. Last chance of the game, potentially. Vokins with a corner. And it's headed in! Would you believe it? O'Connor, the captain, with a last gasp winner for Southampton. My goodness me, have they left it late. But Southampton have surely beaten the leaders, Wolverhampton Wanderers. Saints 3, Wolves 2. O'Connor in there with the free header. It was a terrific ball in originally from Vokins. And there he is, Tom O'Connor. And what a time to score and to get your second goal of the season. A beautiful ball in from Vokins. And Southampton are seconds away from a big 3 points. And Wolverhampton Wanderers, who did so well to bring the game back to 2-2 with 2 goals in 60 seconds. As the music comes on here temporarily, I thought the referee had blown his full-time whistle. Not quite. I'm going to try and take it again here, Wolves. Back to Barnes. Safely back towards Sondergaard. So a very, very late goal from O'Connor. Here's Diallo. Brought down well there from Giles. Here's Jan Valerie. He could make things even better for Southampton here if he can finish. It's a great save. Good save that time from Sondergaard. And that would have really put the icing on the cake for Southampton. And it's been incredible how things have changed since the first half. 1-0, it was a really poor game entertainment-wise in the first half, but the second half has been anything but. After a slow first 10 minutes, it has to be said, of the second half. 4 goals in the second half, 2 for Southampton, 2 for Wolves. Overall, Southampton leading by 3 goals to 2. Still no whistle, mind. I think the referee's enjoying this match so much. He's prepared for this game to carry on, but eventually the whistle goes. And what a big 3 points for Southampton under 23s. And how late did Southampton leave it? But the skipper, Tom O'Connor, was there to head home a Vokins corner and end 2 games of defeat for Southampton with a win. And it's Wolves' second defeat of the season. 2 sides, the way they played, especially in the second half, you can tell they're bound to be 2 sides that are going to be there or thereabouts at the end of the season. They could even be fighting for the title right at the end of the campaign. A thoroughly enjoyable second half between 2 sides who play football the right way. It was unfortunate on Wolves, who came from 2-0 down to make it 2-2. And the perseverance alone made it a hard bitter pill to swallow for them, but credit to Southampton, who scored late on. That was the first one from Obafemi in a quiet first half. The second half, a lovely move down the left-hand side. Vokins' ball, a delicious ball in the box, but Slattery will be really disappointed at that stage not to make it 2-0, but Saints didn't have to wait long before making it 2-0. Obafemi to Valerie, and Barnes was never going to miss from there. Saints thought they were going to steal 3 points from there in cruise control, but an incredible 60 seconds for Wolves and real frustration for Southampton. 2 goals in a minute, 1 from Watts, and the second, lovely ball in from Burr, ball down brilliantly from Niall Ennis, left the goalkeeper Rose with no chance. That was Ennis's 3rd goal of the season, but just when it looked like this match was going to be 2-2, another ball in from Vokins. O'Connor, great contact on that to give Southampton a 3-2 lead and a 3-2 win. It could have got even better had Valerie taken his chance right at the end. But you can see what it means for those Southampton players, who reduced the gap now to the leaders Wolves to just 2 points in the PL2 Division 2. Thanks for watching tonight. Whoever you've been following this evening, it's been good to have you tuning in, whether you've been watching on Facebook or YouTube. In the end, it's Southampton who picked up the 3 points here, and they did it very, very late. It finished here in the under 23s, Southampton 3, Wolves 2.